Now all of a
Going to
sudden,
be the greatest shooter of all time. Not done.
okay, we had that debate earlier, and it was like he's the greatest shooter of all time, but he's not top 5, not top 10, right? Because outside, he's not really a two-way player. I mean, they make jokes about him being a two-way player right now, right? So he's not really a two-way player. But if he were to win, like I said, we're prisoners of the moment because they were just down 2-1 after getting blown out. And we were saying that, oh, the Celtics are going to win, Steph Curry's legacy, blah, 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 blah. And then he comes out and scores 40 points and pretty much wills their team to a victory. Yes, he had help from everybody else, and we'll get into that when we talk about it some more. But if they were to win this championship, do you put Steph Curry in the top 10?
Hell yeah. I think that he was probably going to get there anyway.
Do you?
But yeah, I mean, he's the best shooter. That's what you do with basketball. Shoot. And don't forget, this is
that's
with
not
James.
fair because so if that's the case, then you would have to put Reggie Miller up there. You would have to put Ray Allen up there. I mean, he broke Ray Allen's records like 2 years ago. So if you're gonna say he's top 10 for being the best shooter of all time, then at that time,
but wait, there's more to this. He's the best shooter, and he's won a ton of games, championships, MVPs, etc. Like Reggie doesn't have a championship, doesn't have an MVP. Mm-hmm. Ray has a championship, doesn't have an MVP.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's apple juice what I'm drinking.
Yeah, and Steph has everything. He has the unanimous MVP. He has multiple championships, and like I said, it would take one more for me to put him there. But I assume that he's going to get there. James Wiseman, I watched today for like 20 minutes just shooting threes, and I'm like, oh, hell no. Yeah, there's no way you're going to Kevon Looney with a guy. If he can be any semblance of that guy that I saw today, now I do understand. I've watched a lot of Ben Simmons three-point shots against nobody, and it looks great. It looks damn great. And I'm not going to just jump into the rabbit hole because I saw it in practice. But if he can get anywhere close to that, Kevon Looney, pack your bags. And not pack your bags. Just, I need you to understand.
Kevon Looney knows his role. Kevon Looney is one of those guys that will come off the bench and play center or whatever. Salud, got the apple juice.
Yes, sir.
I don't. They don't really have a backup singer. I can tell you who would go. Bialica.
Bialica. Yeah.
I still don't understand why he plays over Kuminga.
Experience.
What experience? When has he ever? When has he ever played? When has Bialica ever played? When have you heard of him? I never heard of him before this year.
Oh nah. He's a shooter, and he's an NBA adult. It's kind of the same thing it's kind of the same thing that Nate does, where you play Gallo more than you play Jalen Johnson, even though the disparity is not the same. It's just that I need a guy.
It's not the same thing as Nate does. Gallo is a vast improvement on offense over Jalen Johnson at this moment.
We don't know that. You want to know why we don't know that? Because you don't stick Jalen Johnson and let him play within the scheme of basketball. When he plays basketball in the G League, he looks pretty damn offensively dominant to me. And when they put him in now, it's at the end of the game. You've never seen him play at any level of competitiveness.
It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is right now, Gallo right now is unless we give John Collins a chance to actually score on the post, there is no way that Jalen Johnson is a better offensive player right now than Gallo. He's more athletic, and it's in terms of the player type. Bialica not being as athletic as Jonathan Kuminga, that is a fair comparison. But the impact is way, to me, between Gallo and Jalen Johnson is greater for Gallo than it is for Bialica over Kuminga. To me, and plus you got to look at the team they playing too. Boston is an athletic team. Bialica did do some things that were good. He had a couple plays. Did have a steal that I was talking big shit I was talking big shit about him, and then he
He's
stole
a
the ball, and then he got
He's a
blocked on the
smart
layup.
old guy.
But
He's
why would you not play Kuminga? Kuminga to me is the person who is the most athletic big that you probably have. He's that maybe
not
James Wiseman. We don't know about James Wiseman. James Wiseman.
You're not getting me. You're not getting me to. I think Kuminga should play. I've been saying play Kuminga. You know, but I mean, my own team don't play rookies, so how can I blame somebody else's team for not
focus on the finals, man? Whatever they won.
I don't know.
It's funny how we talking shit about them and they won. So
we are not talking shit about them at all. Go Warriors.
So the thing about Steph Curry and the Warriors that I said that we talked about, because we were kind of talking in the Splashcast group. Shout out to the folks. We're gonna actually start a Discord chat too, so everybody can join. But we were talking about Steph Curry is averaging 31 points a game this series, which is probably now going to be 30, 60, 90, 130. Is almost going to be 35 points a game. He's almost at the 33 point a game threshold. So you're going to get that. Clay is still giving you 15, 20. Clay's got to give you 20.
Man, Clay and Draymond got to clean this shit up, man.
Poole and Wiggins got to give you 30 between them. Poole and Wiggins got to give you 30 between them. And they did yesterday. I said in order for the Warriors to win in Boston, Poole and Kuminga got to give you 30. Poole and Wiggins. Wiggins had 15 rebounds. 15 rebounds. That's unacceptable. That is great for the Warriors. If I'm Udoka, I am furious. Al Horford, I also told y'all Al Horford's good for one game a series. I told y'all one game a series. He dunked on Giannis and disappeared. What'd you say? He became a pumpkin. Against the Heat, went wild crazy, hit all them threes, became a pumpkin. Against the Warriors in game 2, he hit them threes. They scored 40 and 16. He is a pumpkin. He did hit 3 threes yesterday, but he also missed like 8. So, Al Horford is only good for one game. And if I'm Udoka, I am furious at them for allowing Andrew 6'7" Wiggins to get 15 rebounds.
Well, you're paying him $33 million. You're paying him $33 million. You probably need a little bit more out of him than that.
Wiggins?
Yes. He needs to score more on a regular basis.
You are wild crazy. He had a 19.15 rebound game. And you tell him you need more than that?
At 33 million. No. That was a good game. Hear me out. I will take that. But the rest of these games, he's not earning his $30 million. And if I'm a team, because we all know.
I mean, come on, man. Is Al Horford still on the same thing?
If you paid Al Horford, you're a damn fool. And I'm a Gator fan and a Hawk fan.
They paid. They traded him to Boston, right? Or did he leave Philly? Did he get cut by Philly? I can't remember.
No, trade.
Josh made a good point. I need to turn the chat on so you can see it. Josh made a good point. He said he's upset at the 14 turnovers, which that's good. The Celtics, if they can stay at 10 turnovers or less, they normally win. If they go over 10 turnovers, they normally lose.
Yeah, they as good a defense as they play, they turn the ball over a lot from time to time. It ebbs and flows. Some games they're gonna give it away, and then some days they protect it. But that is the deal breaker. When they turn the ball over, they turn the game over, and you can't afford
to not record.
That too, number one. But it's still the Warriors. You can't play with them. Eventually, they're gonna beat you. And if Clay. But I can't ask a whole lot of Clay. The man ain't played basketball in 2 years.
You just no. I mean, he hadn't played basketball in 2 years. Test Al Horford for PEDs. I'm sorry. Clay hasn't played basketball in 2 years, but my nigga, you are in the finals. You are in the finals,
what?
And if I'm Steph Curry, ain't no. If you can't play, then you need to. Then Steve Kerr, you need to do better with your rotations.
I'm not letting him die out there.
Clay's got to give you 15 to 20. Clay's got to give you, and he did last game. He got hot.
I'm not allowing him to die out there on the court either. If he don't got it, pull him, swap him out. Same thing with Draymond. Draymond, mama got on his ass. She was like, "Is this a clone?"
I think Draymond Mama was like, "Stop messaging me, leave me alone."
And I mean, he even said after the game, "Hey man, I ain't playing great, but I got to do what I got to do to win the game."
He out there. If the reason a lot of people give Draymond a lot of passes for his offense and everything is kind of like the same thing with Rodman or the same thing with any hustle player. Draymond Green, he is going to exactly, Josh. It's the finals. If you die, you die. Draymond Green, and this is what, and you talked about high school football earlier when we was out there. Our coach used to always say, if you fuck up, just fuck up going 100 miles an hour. That's all I want you to do.
Yeah.
Draymond Green be fucking up going 100 miles an hour, except for when he passed up them layups. I don't know. I mean, that's when I was like, okay, they're in his head. But Draymond, the reason they allow Draymond Green to operate the way that he does is because, one, he's not going to fuck up as much offensively because he's not dependent on offensively. He makes them flow.
Draymond is, and he's a great passer. I think that people just kind of give it.
Yeah, that's very underrated.
You're passing the ball to Steph, so it must be easy. No, he is passing the ball to the greatest shooter of all time. I will attest to that. But he's getting the greatest shooter of all time. Yes, but I'm talking about right now.
Of all time. The two greatest shooters of all time.
But you're getting the two greatest shooters of all time the ball exactly where they want it, exactly how they want it, and you're kind of passing them open. That leads to success. You can be a great shooter, Reggie Miller, Ray Allen, but when you got a guy who's feeding you and he's putting you in the place to be successful, it just makes your team exponentially better, and that's what you see. But I think people need to go back and just look at Draymond Green's like best pass.
I was about to say, admittingly, I was one that underestimated Draymond. Draymond, I did think that his impact was great. I think he's a great defensive player, but I didn't see why he needed to be on the floor offensively as much until this playoffs when I really started paying attention to him again. Man, he may not score a lot. He may not get a lot of rebounds. He may not even get all the assists, but if hockey assists were a thing, he would have like 10,000, 10 million, because he makes that offense go. And without Draymond, and I can see why you don't play Kuminga over Draymond, because there's no way that this offense were to flow. And I think a lot of people will actually see once Draymond leaves, especially if Steph and them play longer, if Draymond retires or they trade him or cut him, you'll see the impact gone from him. There's not really a big that facilitates like him at the four. And I'm not saying he's good as him, but there's LeBron. Who else at the four facilitates like Draymond?
And he does all the stuff that nobody else really wants to do. Do I have to set a pick against a guy who's probably 6-7 inches taller than me,
70 pounds bigger than me? Sure, whatever.
I'm gonna do it. He doesn't have a poor attitude about not getting a bunch of shots, which in this NBA's time is weird. And
what happened?
I'm like, I would have been put hands on one. I'm going to at least.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good point. Draymond he does somehow our stream is kind of messing up a little bit. But yeah, Draymond does do everything but score. He even on wide open layups, as Josh says, he does score. He doesn't score on wide open layups, but his impact, I haven't seen a player with this great an impact without doing anything offensively except passing the ball. Like, other than a point guard at the four. Like LeBron can do score. Draymond is doing this without scoring. Somehow I froze. I'm gonna have to turn you up because I can't hear you. All right, there we go. Until we get our stream back going, somehow it froze. You froze, man.
Oh, why doesn't Trey get the same energy when he's a great passer as well? Trey is a great passer, and if you listen to the podcast, which I know you
Yeah, yeah. Trey needs to average 12 to 15 assists, and for it to be good. We say that all the time, actually. Yeah, man. I don't know what's going on with our stream, and it just froze. Oh well, but we'll keep going. We'll continue on IG Live. We'll just post the IG Live photo. It is what it is. Yeah, my whole shit just stopped. What's next on the docket? I can't see the list. Bandwidth. Ooh, so that is yeah. So, but there's also this you. So let me preface this by saying yes, misogyny, bad workplace environment, all of that is horrible. It's no. She's saying that in the workplace that is happening. Your sister is saying that. It's a family issue. This is why I say so. You saying it's a family issue. We don't know what's going on inside the family. Obviously, there's some beef. Now, what I did see and what I do understand is that the oldest sibling, him, is the owner, and he only uses his brother. What it sounds like to me is that she wants to be involved, and they are not allowing her to be involved at all. They look like they're putting the team together. I'm okay. That's two separate things. I don't see the correlation. You can still have a good you can still have a good franchise and have misogynistic front office. It happens all the time. I mean, yeah, yeah. Okay, you're saying that because they don't. You're going on the operation. She took it because y'all don't know what y'all doing. That's why Jeannie Buss said this. This lady is using the misogynistic, toxic workplace environment as the reason why they're losing. I mean, not losing as the reason why she is the basis of her as the basis of her suit. So this is why I was saying this is what I think. I think that she wants to be in on the ownership, the decision making, and that's where that line of women should just sit in the kitchen and shut up, sit in sit in the background and just shut up. That's where that's coming from. She wants to be, and she's using misogynistic. Now she's also saying I done seen some shit in the front office. I done seen how y'all act. I done seen what y'all say. I done heard what y'all say. I'm your sister. It's tough, and when you have that much money, when you have that much money going on, man, I don't know how this will work, man. The
I know
NFL,
exactly how this. I know exactly how this works. If the Chargers are winning, this is not a problem.
as long as they win.
Absolutely. And considering they just got Khalil Mack and that whole defense, hey baby, you were waiting for them to start losing for you.
So this is the reason why I say that might be a little different. Might be a little different than if the Chargers are winning. Uh, if the Chargers are winning, it'll go away. We said the NFL is on fire, right? You have the Redskins. I'm doing all of this off memory now. You have the Redskins.
Commanders, do not use.
You have the Commanders. You have the Commanders that are. You have the Commanders that are going through everything with Dan Snyder. Why did I bring that up? Because an important revelation came out, or not revelation, an important decision came out between the NFL against John Gruden. The NFL was trying to get the case of John Gruden thrown out. Specifically, John Gruden against Roger Goodell, and he alleges that the NFL and Roger Goodell, along with the owners, created a storyline to ruin John Gruden's career and make him a scapegoat. He is now suing. He is now suing the NFL. He is now suing the NFL, and because he's suing the NFL's like, nah, we want to take it to civil court, or we want to take it to arbitration, to where nobody else can hear what's going on. Nobody else has said. John Gruden is like, give me the match, give me the gas. I'm gonna burn this motherfucker down. Why is that interesting? And why did I say that about Dan Snyder? John Gruden initially got in trouble because of the emails between him and Dan Snyder, and him and other owners that had all of the racist, misogynistic stuff was between him and other owners. The NFL does not want, and the owners do not want to make this public, because then everything, all the toxicity of the front office and of the, we're going to say it, old Anglo men running the businesses will be exposed. It's already being exposed, or already subject to investigation by the government and U.S. attorney generals and all these other former attorney generals and all this other stuff. Could you imagine if you go to court and they release all the documents, everything that's said?
But you know what? It's funny enough. But Gruden is actually helping black people. The NFL, like the court's ruling that they won't take arbitration with Gruden, strengthens the fact that they should not. That they probably won't take arbitration with the Brian Flores case either. So funny enough, John Gruden finally finding a way to help black people after all that racism. Um,
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, it does. That's what I was saying. It does. It does. Shut up, AJ.
but I definitely foresee the Commanders being sold. They just got denied that plot of land that they were looking to build a new stadium. I don't think anybody is dealing with them until you can't piss off everybody.
I mean, you can.